Introduce yourself one more time.
Stan Perez.
Dan Perez, we've met before,
Yes.
right? The last time we met, I don't know, what was it, Lyndhurst?
Lyndhurst, I believe.
Right? And I believe Senator Menendez was running for re-election. He had stopped in Lyndhurst to talk to the vets, and you and your mom came down to, why were you there?
It was in Lyndhurst. A local post was hosting an event for Senator Bob Mendez, and he was mentioning how he's been doing a lot of support for the vets in New Jersey. He was recapping about certain programs that he's trying to do and work on. And at that time, it was we were just in the process of understanding the foreclosure that we were going through.
All right, and here we are. Yeah, that was like a year ago. And here we are again. And that's when I first met you. You told me about what was going on. You said you were helping your mom fight. And then, you weren't that kind of guy. But you saw your mom in distress, and then you had to step up to the plate. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, I was, at that time, I was jumping between getting my own career going and stuff. But I had to put everything on hold because this is a very confusing, complex situation that people go through. There's a lot of things that you don't quite understand until you're going through them. It's a very big learning experience for a lot of people.
And like I said, this is 2020. It's a presidential election year, right? Democrats, Republicans, and Bernie Sanders. If you don't know, he's progressive, so we don't know which way he's going, right? And like I said, we're here in New Jersey, and even though New Jersey, like I said, so close to New York, one of the most richest affluent states in the entire country, if not the world, right? A lot of wealth concentrated here in Jersey, and yet we have these issues, right? It seems, crazy. I would say crazy from my point of view. And so, like I said, it's an election issue, but this has been going on for years now. All these home mortgage foreclosures in New Jersey, and it has not been resolved. I mean, like I said, an election year, I like elections because that's when you got leverage on elected officials, right?
Right.
Because they want to get in office, and so you make it an issue, they have to address it, or they have to say something about it, right? So, I mean, what would you like to see, in this election year?
I would like for upcoming officials or the ones that get to keep their positions, at least shine more light on the situation. At least shine an opportunity for people to save their homes or give us more options that we could find on out here. By going county to county, making a different branch or making a special office that handles this. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Everyone's going through something, and sometimes you fall behind or you have to work 3 jobs to maintain. And time is time. When you become overwhelmed and busy, you might forget something. As humans and as beings, we forget that life could go fast.
Well, listen, you mentioned a human error, but I want to say, I was talking to Ed Kaiser earlier, and we were talking about the situation with the mortgages being swapped around. You might think you're paying one company or making a payment to another company, but it's actually the money should be going to some other company.
Yeah.
Right? So you got you're paying to the wrong people, and you don't really know because nobody's notified you because it's been moved around so much.
Yeah, and they don't have to notify you. That's what I came to learn. They don't have to notify that they sold your loan to somebody else or to a third party,
But that would be helpful, wouldn't it?
That would be helpful because where's the money going? If the money's supposed to go towards the payment of the house, then who's getting the money? Where does the money go?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the escrow? What happened to all these years of paying the mortgage on time and having certain certain things that you should be able to use in a crisis.
Mm-hmm. And also, what about we talk about record. If you, like you said, you've been working for a long time, you have a job, a career. I've been making my payments for you. I just happen to fall into a gap. Work with me, help me out, right? I mean, that's the American way as well, right?
Yeah, it is the American way as well. American way is to help. We help each other. That's what makes this country strong is by helping one another.
All right. And then, like I said, during this election, you like a little bit more help, huh?
Yes.
All right. And so, election year, elected official. I don't want to put you on the spot, but here you are.
I'm here.
And introduce yourself one more time for me.
I'm Kristen Corrado. I'm the senator, state senator for the 40th district.
Which is?
Wayne, parts of Passaic, Essex, Bergen, and Morris.
What are you doing out here on this, I don't want to call it cold and damp,
Yeah.
February morning?
Well, 2 things. I'm here to support the Perez family, but I'm also here to support this amazing group of people, this stakeholder group that dedicates their time, goes above and beyond to help veterans and their families. If they don't have the answer, they'll find the answer. If they don't know the resource, they'll make sure they get to the resource. And we need more people like this helping out homeowners. So they work hand in hand together to do amazing things.
And I mentioned personally, I know, and as an elected official, I'm sure you're aware, state senator, that there's legislation pending in committee and that's been brought forth down in Trenton, to address these issues about home mortgage foreclosure in New Jersey.
Constantly trying to address it, and yet New Jersey continues to remain the state with the highest foreclosure rate in the nation. And we have not been able to fix it up until now. And it affects every town, every income bracket, and I was talking to Stan just about some of the problems he had trying to get answers. And when you're in the middle of a crisis, it just gets overwhelming. And unfortunately, in addition to dealing with foreclosure, I had a family member that was ill, and she passed away in the middle of the. So can you imagine the stress trying to get answers on where's the status of my house, and you're dealing with the loss of a family member? I can't even imagine. I'm really sorry that you're going through all of this. But he's right. There's got to be a better way. There should be a person that they can reach out to and talk to. And even at the county level. And we need to do a better job in Trenton, not just talking about it, but actually getting the legislation passed and then the governor to sign it.
All right. So like I said, I look around you today, and we talk about being accountable, being accessible, and being out with your constituents, and that seems to be what you're doing.
I'm here. I'm always here. First and foremost, I'm a resident of Passaic County, and I don't want to see anybody in trouble, and that's why I'm here to support my neighbors. But like I also said, this is an amazing group of people that stepped up to help, and I've worked with them for the past 10 years, and I will continue to work with them and make sure things get done.
All right. And I mentioned earlier, I like those glasses, young man. You have a bearing that screams, "I'm official. Speak to me." And so I want you to introduce yourself and tell me who you are and where you get those glasses. I'm just kidding. But go ahead.
My name's John Harris. I'm the Passaic County Veteran Service Officer here. And I was the first point of contact for the Perez family when this started to happen. And in my office, I don't handle the mortgages. That's done by the VA and whoever owns the mortgage. But due to our stakeholders and the group that we have formed in this county and other counties now, we have a massive amount of providers of veteran support. I mean, look at the veterans that showed up here today. Veterans take care of veterans. They support veterans. And a veteran's family should not be homeless. This is a disgrace.
I was speaking to Ed Kaiser. I know him through Irvington and also through different. He's also a veteran. He's a veteran as well. And I was saying, we live in a time, right? Especially with you Vietnam guys, right? That time people were, you go serve your country, you come home, you get spit on, you get derided, you're a baby killer, all this other kind of thing. We live in a time now where everybody's going, thank you for your service. We appreciate you so much. And and you're so helpful. And yet, things like this happen. So, it seems like a lot of lip service is going on.
It's like
but then
you join the army, and then they give you a house, and then they take it away. It's unbelievable. They should honor the people that serve their country, like respect, and sometimes like disrespecting them. If they want to, take their house and stuff like that, or not give them the benefits that they deserve. It's a lot. So the veteran administration, it should be like more contact, more.
support?
Like more resources, yeah.
Mm-hmm. I mean, okay, listen, you guys are all in the military, right?
Yeah.
And in the military, we always hear about the team, right? And I remember when I had my own misgivings. Like I don't know if they told me to go on the hill, would I go if they're shooting down on me? But a veteran told me you go because your buddies are going, and your teammates, and your buddies, and that's what it's all about, right? I mean, when you're in trouble, you guys train together, you live together, you fight together, you die together. And so when something like this happens here on, I guess, the civilian side, you come together again, right?
Absolutely. We are a team. We are a team.
All right. But I mean, what do you think about that? Like I said, I don't want to call. Like I said, I don't want to say lip service because that sounds derogatory. But like I said, a lot of this, rhetoric. We thank you and we appreciate you and thanks so much. But then you have things like this happening.
I am a Vietnam vet, and I experienced those things. And from what I see now, most of the service officers in my position are Vietnam veterans. We're giving back because we didn't receive. And we're finding ways to give back. We network. And this is how we started with our stakeholders group. We meet people like Ed, like our senator, and other elected officials. And like I always say, veterans vote.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. And like I said, I know you smile when I said it, but this is election year, and we talk about leverage, right?
Veterans vote.
And what do you think about that? Like I said, a lot of it seems to me like, the senator quoted that stat about the home mortgage foreclosure rate in New Jersey, and I tend to believe that a lot of people don't really believe that, right? A lot of people, when they hear that, they go, New Jersey, that's crazy. But it is the fact, correct?
Yes, it is. It is a fact.
I mean, what do you think about that? That in a state like New Jersey, like I said, millionaires per square mile is a lot.
Something has to be changed policy-wise. It's the only way it's going to be changed.
Okay. What would you like to see happen in result in this situation with this particular family?
Well, being that the VA has bought this loan, let's have a rebonification of the loan. Let's extend, help the family out. It's the Veterans Administration.
Mm-hmm.
Let's step up.
It doesn't sound that hard to do that. That sounds so simple, like remodification, right? I mean, you're a good payer, you're a good client, you're customer standing. We know where you are, right? You haven't sent us any bad checks. We can find you. Let's just work out a deal, right? Remodification is let's work out a deal. And yet it seems as if when the push comes to shove, Ed Kaiser, they don't want to cut a deal. I mean, what do you think about that?
Well, this is what we're focusing on today. And we have gotten a lot of support from Senator Menendez's office, as well as others, in order to push that effort too. And our goal is to get them another mortgage structured with the Veterans Administration so they can stay in their home. Because they've been here 20 years now.
Mm-hmm. And that sounds so simple, right? We talk about taxpayers and citizens, right? To me, it's a citizen thing, right? Like I said, 20 years you've been here. Like I said, we know where you are, right? You're not trying to run. You're not changing your identity and trying to flee, right? And yet you want to work it out. You would like to do the right things, right?
Yeah, because I have my kids and my grandkids here.
All right, so you want to stay.
Yeah, I want to stay in my home.
All right. And so let me ask you, you guys who put your lives on the line, served your country, right? And, as of World War II, we had veterans come back, a GI Bill, you go to school, get education, invest in America, try to, for all of the veterans. And then since then, we've always heard, that we're trying to help veterans and get veterans acclimated with loans and things like that. But then things like this happen, which seem like it should not happen, correct? I mean, we talk about the American dream.
Exactly.
And you guys have fought, lived and died for it. And then it seems like...
Mr. Perez fought for this country. This is the land we stand on, he fought for. To keep us free, do the right thing. To have it taken away from his family after he passed away is an atrocity. There needs to be reform. There needs to be more programs to help these guys out, to help the families out. Their family sacrificed while he was overseas, sacrificing for this country.
Mm-hmm. And what is your name again, sir?
My name is Joe Fricker. I'm the commander of Post 174.
And what branch of the service did you serve in?
I served in the United States Navy.
The Navy? Are you a seaman? Right? All right, you're a sailor.
No, he's a submariner.
You're a submariner. Ah, you one of the wild guys. I'm just kidding. But, and so, I mean,
Well,
yeah.
my point is, we got to come back. Just because Mr. Perez is no longer here, we have to watch for the families. We watch each other's backs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do in the field. That's what we did on the boat. That's what we're doing here today.
All right. I'm not a parent, and I have never served in the armed forces, but it seems to me like once you've served, just like being a parent never ends, you serve, it never ends, right? I mean, you're a vet for life.
Yeah.
Correct?
True.
There's no
It's
expiration.
called citizenship. Being a good citizen, being an American, knowing what the rules are, but make the rules easier to work with. The VA administration will just turn around and deny you first time no matter what, for no reason. And you have to go back and reapply again, and again, and again, and it takes them years to put those qualifications into effect. We're tired of it. We
Programs
fought,
need to be streamlined.
we fought for our country. We were there when Uncle Sam called us. My number was number 2 on the draft during the Vietnam War, and thank you very much. I went ahead and enlisted. And I'm still here. I'm still fighting for veterans benefits. And now we're going to have an even tougher time when we start getting more and more women that are going to be looking for these benefits.
Mm-hmm.
And women with children that need to waste all their time taking care of themselves and their children instead of getting to use that GI Bill that we fought so hard to get.
To me, what you just said and what I've been thinking about time is that the bureaucracy and red tape, while all this is working itself out, life is happening.
Right.
Right? And life does not hold up.
We can't wait for everybody to get on board. Look how long it took us to get Agent Orange even on the books. But it affects our children. And nobody says, oh, well, no. They weren't exposed. Hello? Our husbands, our wives were exposed to Agent Orange. They come home, they have families, and what happens? The children have been exposed the same way. Do we get any help from that? No. I had a 21-year-old son wind up with a kidney transplant because he was exposed through the two of us to Agent Orange.
Because you were exposed and they got into the genes and things.
Yep.
I understand. And so, like I said,
My husband was in country for Tet.
for Tet Offensive?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Are you really a military family?
Well, damn, my daughter's a chief in the Navy right now,
See?
so we kept it going.
All right, what branch did you serve in?
Navy.
Navy? Oh, you're a sea woman, not a sea man.
Hey, call me what you want. I'm a sailor.
And like I said, you guys are here today to help the Perez family. And what do you want to see happen out of all of this?
Smooth up the red tape.
Reform, restructure Mrs. Perez to keep her home.
All right. And like I said, it sounds so simple to do, yet in reality, in practice, it seems like they make it hard to do. I don't understand. I personally don't get it, right? Because it seems to me you reinvest in something that's been working out, right? But that's not me. And so, elected official, we come back to you,
Okay.
right? Because we talk about we are in a representative democracy, right? And you represent people, and your constituents are experiencing these things, going through pain. I mean, how hard is it? Like you said, the legislation's pending. Ideas are up there. Cleveland Tucker and those guys, they put stuff forward to get a moratorium and these things, but then they don't get passed through. And even current Governor Murphy, when he was on the campaign trail, I was there when he came before Ed Kaiser and POP and those guys and talked about that's going to be my priority. I'm going to help do this. And then when he gets in office, his Goldman Sachs background. This is my commentary, my editorial, right? And Goldman Sachs is that wheeler dealer stuff where the mortgage been putting around. Seems to kick in,
Right.
as opposed to this is campaign trail. Campaign. Right?
I think it's important to be here today and understand what our neighbors are going through, and it would be important for somebody from the governor's office to be here too and understand the struggles that everyday people face every day. And then add in that you have a veteran's family and what they're going through. We can't just pay lip service. We've got to get it done. I think it's important to take time to be here and understand what they're going through. Maybe the governor needs to do that as well. And we'll continue to fight to do what we have to in Trenton to make things easier for everybody. I know, we say simplify. It's common sense, and we need to start taking a common sense approach to getting things done in this state and at the federal level.
Nice. Okay. All right. And so listen, I want to say we're wrapping this up because it's going to be an ongoing issue, especially in your life.
Yes.
And the good thing is, we talk about why family, and I guess extended family in terms of the military, a literal family with you and your son, but then the extended family, why family. This is also a case to me of why family, quote unquote, is so important, right? Like I said, life happens, and this is not going to go away. I'll cut this, I'll stop this recording, but this is going to keep going on,
Yes.
Until it gets resolved.
Mm-hmm.
And so, anything you guys want to say? As we
No,
wrap
I
this up?
just hope that it does get resolved, and then other families that are going through the same thing, I hope that they could help, get, help too, because it's not right for families to go through this. You're doing the right thing, and then somebody on the other side does the wrong thing. So it's not right.
Anything you want to say?
Yeah, she summed it up. It's not right when you're doing the right thing and then you have big companies or somewhere down the line doing the wrong thing towards you. It's just, it's unfair.
I'm going to editorialize. This is Chris, black editorializer. That's what bothers me, right? The idea that it's not good business to work out a deal, to keep people in their homes. The idea that it's better for our business to kick you out of your home, right? And which seems to be the bottom line. It's better. It's all around. Get them out of there,
Yeah.
right? And then maybe we talk about rateables in the town. Homeowners pay taxes. That's rateables. That's services and keeps the town alive. When you kick them out, all of a sudden you got a vacant lot. There's no taxes coming in, and then people complain about the taxes going up, right? So it seems real. I don't, maybe that's why I'm not a Wall Street guy. I'm not a genius, finance genius, right? Because it seems really
Common sense.
Yes, right. Because it seems like it would be good business, right?
Put lies before profit.
I like that, right? And also, to me, putting lies before profit, but also it's profitable to put lies before profit. That's what gets me,
Yeah.
right? Because they make it seem like, no, we just can't do it,
Maybe the media could take this and blow it up a little bit bigger so that the representatives could see what's going on.
Yeah.
Okay, I listen. I agree, right? Because you're right. You have to bang the drum, right? The noisy,
Yeah, right.
the noisy wheel gets the oil, right?
Yeah.
The squeaky wheel gets the oil, and so you got to make a lot of noise, right?
Yeah.
Especially during election times.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what. Yeah, that's what we want to do. Make it louder. Make everybody hear us, so we can get something done.
All right. And listen. You know, I want, this is for me, right? Before I turn this off, right? We talk about boy banging the drum, right? And the banging drum, you got to hit it with something, right? And so even though, you know, we talk about Ed is the NAACP and we get into the Black Power movement and pop, and they put up the Black Power fist. But I got you guys to put up the veteran. Either, you know, I have to put up a fist, but since you guys are vets, you can do it a salute, right? And so that'll be your white power. I'm sorry, your
Yeah.
veteran power fist, right? So on the count of 3, right?
All right.
1, 2, 3. Nice. Right? One more. Hold on. Nice. I like that.